Hey everyone, Chris at Lamin-x, and today we're doing another product on our project Ford Raptor. On the lower part of the doors and right in front of the rear wheels is an area called the rocker panel. This rocker panel will eventually, it gets a lot of wear and tear, especially on the Raptor where you have wider tires. They'll actually kick the stones up and they give kind of a road rash on the paint and on the side here. So we designed a paint protection film that actually adheres like a visible layer of skin that goes right on top of the paint. And this film is impact resistant, designed to take the rock chip stones and impact and damage and the scuffing and scraping. And it's actually self-healing, so under heat, those imperfections will actually heal back up over time. And so we designed it to actually pre-cut for basically the rear wheel arches and along the bottom part of the doors here. And it's adhesive backed, and we provide all the installation tools and instructions for you to actually install right onto the paint. And we provide, this is the highest quality film on the market. Comes with a clear coat technology, self-healing technology, stain resistant, and you just maintain it by washing and waxing when you wash and wax the car. And it's pre-cut for nearly any make and model that we have rocker panel protection for. Just go to our website, select your make, model, and rocker panel as the product type. And after you place your order on our website, we'll custom make it just for you, provide you all the installation tools and instructions to do an actual DIY installation of the rocker panel paint protection. And today, I'm going to show you how to do that. To begin, we need to make sure this area is actually clean from any dirt and debris or any bug guts that may be on it, because the film is adhesive backed and it applies directly onto the paint. So you want to make sure anything is completely removed, otherwise it's going to be trapped by the film. So I'm just going to do a nice gentle cleaner that we use for paint, as it was like a detailer to detail it out. And I'm going to use a nice microfiber towel, and I'm going to kind of go through this inch by inch and just make sure that the area is completely clean and I don't have any contaminants still stuck on the paint. And I'm going to inspect it kind of thoroughly. We designed our pre-cut kits into numerous pieces, so you just do one section at a time. It's not a one whole piece and then you cut it. It's actually pre-cut for each piece. All right, so I'm wiping this down, and I did already kind of clean this up a little bit earlier. So now I'm just making sure any lint or dust is still completely removed from the paint surface. So a microfiber towel is good for this, or you can use a blow tool to blow it off. And you want to make sure some of the surface wax is completely removed too, so you can use some alcohol, water and alcohol to kind of wipe this up to get that additional wax removed from the paint. Okay, next we're going to take our installation solution that we provide in the bottle that you receive in your kit. You're going to have a little bit of a kind of a gel at the bottom of it. All you're going to do then is add some isopropyl alcohol, a couple drops of baby shampoo, and then some distilled and filtered water. Once you get it all filled up, then you just gotta shake the bottle up really good. And now we're actually going to spray the area that we're gonna install our Lamin-x onto. And spray it pretty good. And the gel kind of keeps it from running down. So it's gonna be actually completely saturated, but it's not gonna run down just because that gel holds it together. And then we're gonna spray our fingers. We wanna get our fingertips nice and wet, so it helps prevent from any dirt and debris or your fingertips marring the adhesive. And then we have a table set up that has our film rolled out onto it. And I'm going to separate the Lamin-x from the liner. And as I peel it up, I'm going to take our installation solution and spray the adhesive side of the Lamin-x, because I don't want, if it starts to fold onto itself, this prevents from it sticking, and I can actually separate it out and it doesn't damage the paint protection film. So I'm keeping this nice and wet and make sure it doesn't fall down on any area on the ground. And now we're just going to lightly kind of slide it in position. And because we have a couple drops of soapy water in here, baby shampoo, allows us kind of to slide it around and to reposition it so it's actually lined up perfect. And we're going to use kind of the body line here as our guide point, edge of the door and the top of the body line. And just kind of just gently applying it down and make sure it doesn't have any major wrinkles or air pockets on it, water pockets, just folds on the material. And now we're just going to take our installation solution. I'm just going to do a nice spray on the outside of it. And this is going to help give me a lubrication layer as you take your squeegee that's wrapped in the squeegee sleeve that comes in your kit. And this squeegee sleeve is kind of a felt sleeve, and it's designed to help protect the film them getting scratched. And you're going to install by kind of using a nice firm strokes. Put all 4 fingers on your squeegee, kind of get a broad pressure across the entire squeegee. And you're basically just going to start doing some firm pressure, and you're going to start squeegeing that installation solution out from underneath the Lamin-x. And we're making sure that it's still lined up as we're squeegeeing it out. Just working my way up and out, making sure that we get all of the installation solution removed and all the water pockets. I'm just kind of doing some broad strokes. In this case, I mean, on the rocker panel, we don't have any major compound curves. It's just kind of just waves. It's kind of generally flat and kind of just waves down. So the installation on this is relatively simple. You don't have to bend the film around any major compound curves. You're just kind of tacking it on, make sure it's aligned properly, and then just squeezing the solution, installation solution, out from underneath the Lamin-x. And if you feel like you missed some areas and you missed a big spot on it, what you can do is you can take your wet fingers, and you can pull the Lamin-x back up, and then just respray the area again in the back of the Lamin-x. And they can reapply it again. Again, this is only if you actually had missed a large area, you kind of made a mistake, and just reapply it back down and make sure you get that area that you completely missed before. In this case, it actually has a body line that kind of curves and goes this way, so you kind of use that, take the squeegee and follow it that way. Go with the body line. And it may be difficult to see on the camera here, but I do have a tiny little water pocket that's still in here. And that's going to be okay. It's not necessarily worth me pulling the Lamin-x back up to reapply it again for that little small area. That area of moisture will eventually evaporate out and disappear. Give it a couple weeks in the sunlight and the heat and evaporate out and actually cure to the painted surface area, and you won't even notice that it's there. All right, so now I'm just gonna go through it and I feel like it's all completely installed. I'm just gonna go through the entire strip again, make sure it's all completely applied. All right, now this one piece is actually installed, so we can take a towel and then we can actually wipe up that area and clean it up. Again, if any small remnants are remaining, they'll actually evaporate out over time. All right, so this piece is now actually installed, and you may have some small imperfections in here if you didn't get the squeegee exactly smooth and perfect with your strokes, but that's okay. It's not worth pulling back up, reapplying again, unless it's pretty significant. Just let it evaporate out over time, and it'll actually heal back up. So this piece is done, so now we're actually gonna work on the front door and repeat the same process. You can just use a good soap water and even some water and alcohol. The alcohol will help strip the wax off of here. Pay attention to real details, every square inch of this. And now we're going to take our installation solution, shake it up again, and then spray. Make it nice and wet, but remember you have that gel on there, so the gel may prevent it from actually dripping, but it'd be wet. And then we're going to wet our fingers again. And then we're going to pull the Lamin-x up off the liner. Now we're going to align this. And we need to make sure when you pull it off the liner, you know which direction is top and which one is the bottom. Now I'm just kind of just sliding this in position right underneath the body line. Now I'm just gently tacking it on here. Make sure I follow the body line. Have this squeegee go with the curve. Gonna go back over again. And I have a small little water pocket here, a little air pocket here. It's be fine. It's small, not enough to pull the Lamin-x back up and reinstall it again. I'm actually just gonna let it be, let it heal up and dissipate over time. After a couple of weeks, you won't even notice it's there, it'll completely disappear. Now we're gonna dry up the area. All right, so that other main rocker piece has been installed. You know, give this good 24 hours prior to dry. All right, so now both door pieces, and like I said, we have a little bit of moisture in here and a little moisture there, but don't worry about that. Will dissipate and disappear over time. Another option what you can do is take a sewing needle, or you can take a trim tool or a sewing needle, and you can actually make a little incision on the side of the laminate. Make sure you don't damage the paint. You may pull it out, and then you can kind of press it out. And that'll allow that moisture actually to breathe a little bit more to evaporate out, and that hole in the incision will actually heal back up over time with heat. So yeah, even if your installation is not exactly perfect, don't worry about it. It will clean up and evaporate and disappear and look perfect over time. And now we're gonna do our last piece. And I'm just kind of lining it up with the body lines and the curvature here. We don't need the body line. Spray the outside. Now we're gonna take our squeegee and sleeve. I'm just gonna have a start in the center here and just kind of tack it around. All right, and that small piece is now installed. Then we're gonna repeat the same process on the opposite side. All right, now we have the rocker panels on this Raptor all protected with Lamin-x paint protection film. Basically all the way from the rear wheels on the both doors and on right behind the front wheels. And it's gonna protect the paint from rock chips and damage from the tires, the wider tires kicking up rock and debris, or to help protect it and keep it actually looking nice and new for many years to come. And it's completely invisible once it actually cures over time and all that moisture and air pockets evaporate out. You won't even know the Lamin-x is there doing its job. And a reminder, it is self-healing, and so any scuffs or damage on there would actually heal back up over time. We guarantee it for 5 years, 100% made in USA. If you have any problems or any questions with your Lamin-x, give us a call, hit us up on live chat, or email us at help@laminx.com. Thanks and have a great day. Take care.